Hello, everyone. Welcome to Vanishing Coughlin Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 190, season 8. Today's date is January 14th, 2023, and thank you for joining me on today's program. So, here I'm going to talk about what I'm going to talk about today. I will talk about the Chicago weatherman, John Coughlin. You remember him? He had a long tenure on WBBM TV Channel 2 in Chicago. Also, I'll talk about Suncoast Motion Picture Company video stores. That's a long title. most known to people as Suncoast. So I'll talk about my memories of shopping there, and this will be fun. It really will be. Okay, right now the program will go into a commercial break, and this program is brought to you by Slice Soda. Oh, I haven't had this in a while, and I don't know if it's still around. I'll get to that in a moment after I play the commercial. So here's a commercial from 1984. This is about when it was introduced to the market. Okay, so sit back and enjoy, everyone. Thank you.
Introducing a new soft drink with 10% real juice. New Slice.
We got the juice and icy blast. A burst of juice in every glass.
7-Up doesn't have juice.
We got the taste, we got the twist.
Sprite doesn't have juice.
We got the juice, the others miss. We got the juice, we got the splash. Slice, slice, we got the taste that no one has. New Slice, we got the juice.
Diet too.
Slice, slice.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Slice Soda. I'll give you a little history of this wonderful product. This was introduced in 1984, and it was from the PepsiCo company, Pepsi-Cola company, that is. And I remember the commercials, and I've had this a few times, and remember, it's their slogan was "We got the juice," and you probably heard that. And it was it's like a lemon lime soda, but it's got what it just says. And then they added other flavors to it, like for example, mandarin orange, apple, and cherry cola, and they had diet versions as well. And then in 1990, they redesigned the packaging, and the juice content was dropped. And then they started trying to compete with Crush. Like for example, they added strawberry or grape, pineapple, and fruit punch. That and I didn't drink that much, not for a while. I wasn't crazy about it. And then it just, and then in about, 1999 and 2000, Slice was replaced by most markets by Sierra Mist, which I'll get to that in a second. And that became the national brand. And then in about early 2006, Pepsi they brought back the product and they called it Slice One. That's for their diet soda, and it was available. Like for the diet soda, the flavors were orange, grape, and other berry flavors, and then it just linger on and all that. And then you don't see it much here. I think they discontinued probably the late 2000s, early 2010s, and it was no longer under Pepsi-Cola's company. So I think another company bought it, and I think it's available elsewhere. I don't know if it's in the United States or in some other countries. I'm not sure. Let me check the flavors. It was apple slice. They had cherry cola, cherry lime. Dr. Slice, like Dr. Pepper. That must have been strange. Fruit punch, grape, lemon, lime. That's the original flavor. Mandarin orange, had that. Uh, Also, mango slice, but that was only in India and Pakistan. And also passion fruit, peach, pineapple, pink lemonade, red slice. I don't know what that was, and strawberry. Okay. So, and then what I said about Sierra Mist, they discontinued that about a few days ago, and they replaced it with a lemon lime drink called Starry. And I went out to lunch yesterday, and I noticed they had still had Sierra Mist. Yeah, they had it there. I'm not crazy about that product. I like Seven Up or Sprite. I don't know. There's something different about it, but I guess so. Sierra Mist has vanished. It's gone like that. So yeah, but the restaurant I went to yesterday, they still had it. I had Pepsi Zero. That's what I did with my meal. So Slice was a great product for the 80s and 90s. It really was. Okay. At the beginning of the program, I mentioned that I will talk about Chicago weatherman John Coughlin, and also Suncoast Motion Picture Company video stores. Okay. One thing before I get started with the show, we had a lot of celebrity deaths this week. Oh, it's terrible. One was guitarist Jeff Beck. Wonderful. He was a wonderful guitarist. One of the best, and he died at the age of 78. He was in the Yardbirds. Remember that? And he performed with Aerosmith at the Windy City Tours in Comiskey Park in Chicago. I didn't go to that concert, but I knew a couple people that did from our old neighborhood, and they said it was wild. And I heard there was a fire there. That's crazy. Like that. That's a shame. Yeah, he was wonderful. Also, there was Lisa Marie Presley, Elvis Presley's daughter. That was very sudden. She was 54. Yeah, she was also a singer. She really was. And with Jeff Beck, I posted a picture of him performing at the Granada Theater in Chicago. That's at what's that street? Sheridan and Devon on the north side, right near Loyola University. Did that? Yeah, I posted a picture of that. And then Lisa Marie Presley, she became a singer, just like her dad. I never listened to her until I listened to a couple songs. She wasn't bad. I mean, she tried. She was not trying to do her father. That doesn't seem fair to her. She was okay, and she performed at the House of Blues in Chicago a few times. And I found a autographed picture of that from October 2nd, 2006, and it's a shame. It really is a shame. And then the third death I just found out is Robbie Knievel, Evil Knievel's son. He died of cancer, so they come in threes. You know how that is. So that's awful. Like that. Ugh. What a way to start 2023. The week before was Adam Rich from Eight Is Enough. And I found out how, according to sources, he OD'd. Yeah, he died of an overdose. I think that's true. So that's awful. Tragic. Okay. So right now we're going to get into what I talked about in the beginning is Suncoast Motion Picture Company video stores. Okay, excuse me. So I'll give you a history of that show and not the show, the store, and my memories of this place. So I had a few of that. So it started as a chain of retail stores, and it sold new and used physical media, like, for example, CDs, DVDs, and Blu-rays, and vinyl records. Most I saw were videos, and they did have VHS. A few, I'm sure they did, and but not many. Not many. Not what I remembered. And the headquarters was located in Roseville, Minnesota. And and then expanded to the Midwest and all over the country. And I found a ad from 1995 from July in the Chicago Tribune, and most of the stores were located in the malls, shopping malls, that is. And I'll read off a list. I'm sure there were others, but I don't think so. So here we go. So it was located at Fox Valley Center in Aurora, Stratford Square in Bloomingdale, also Bourbonnais at Northfield Square, also Gurnee and Gurnee Malls, and the Lincoln Town Center in Lincolnwood, Ranhurst Mall in Mount Prospect, Harlem Irving Plaza in Norridge, Orland Park at the Orland Square Mall. That's the one I shopped the most. That's where I did my shopping. The Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg, the Hawthorne Center in Vernon Hills, Lakehurst Mall in Waukegan, Spring Hill Mall in West Dundee, and also South Lake Mall in Maryville, Indiana. I think there was one in Joliet Mall. I think there was. I'm sure that opened later. I don't think it opened. They were located in just the shopping malls. I don't think they were like standalone stores. I don't think so. No, I don't believe that at all. And let's see. So I remember the posters on the wall, and they had the lot of let's see what else. And they always play music, and they have the TVs on hanging out from the ceilings like that, and the employees. You know what? I got a when I bought my first Disney movies there on VHS. On VHS, I bought them over there, and I had them for a long time, but I had to sell them because there was no room in my house. And I heard the collector's items, so that's been going around for a long time. But then I started buying the DVDs for the Disney movies. I have mostly all of them, all the way from Snow White to I think to Mulan. I believe so. There are a few I haven't bought yet. Not Mulan. Yeah, probably Toy Story. Yeah, no. I don't know if the third movie I have. No, I don't think so. I have the second movie, and I remember I bought the DVD for Toy Story, and it came with a yo-yo, and I still have that yo-yo in my room, and that's in the drawer. So that's a collector's item. So I'm not selling it. No way. Uh-uh. And then let's see. Other items I bought over the years over there was the Batman movies. When Batman came out in 1989, I'm sure I saw the first time I saw the movie was in Chicago Ridge Mall, but not in Fort City. I didn't. Well, that's where I live. I didn't see it there. I saw it at Chicago Ridge Mall. I saw it for about 3 times, and then I couldn't wait for the movie to be released on VHS. So when the release date was happening, I actually they do it on a Tuesday, I believe. That's where all the VHS releases are available. I went on a Saturday because I worked during the week, and then I just rushed over there to Suncoast in Orland Square in Orland Park, Illinois, and then I got a copy, and I was excited to take it home, and I watched the movie, just like in the theater. And then I bought the sequel, Batman Returns. No, not Batman. Yeah, Batman Returns, and also the third one, Batman Forever. I did that, and I had them for a while, and then I got rid of them, and then I bought the DVDs. But I didn't buy them at Suncoast. I don't know where I bought them. I bought them elsewhere. So I bought movies bought over there for the years. According to most people, they were expensive than when you could buy movies at Best Buy or Target, which was true. But they had a good. They had a lot of inventory. They had a lot of movies that if you couldn't find elsewhere, They had it at Suncoast. They had rare titles. They also sold used movies. You know, they had that. Not renting them. There was a you don't rent over there. Mm-mm, no. And then competition came, and then they filed for bankruptcy in January of 2006. Around this time, and they closed some stores, and then I don't know when in Chicago they closed. I'm not sure. Probably the same year or the year after. Uh, According to some sources, there are maybe about one or two left, but not in Chicago, but on the East Coast. So that's good. It's like the last Blockbuster store in Oregon, just like that, you know. But I like the store very much. I really did, you know. And it's a shame, you know. I love browsing. I love browsing. It's like going to a record store. You like to browse the records, or you know, like the vinyls or the CDs. Also, I did the same thing with the DVDs, you know, or VHS. I still do that from time to time. Sometimes you go to Barnes and Nobles; they sell DVDs there, movies and television. Oh, with Suncoast, they had a section for television, TV shows. That's where I first started collecting them, and I got a lot of them from there. You know, I started. You know, they had the box sets and all that. Sometimes they weren't available. You asked them, "Can I place an order? Can you have them? Can you please order one for me?" And they did. You know, and they one day there was a DVD. I don't remember which one, and they said, "We'll call you when it's ready." And sure enough, they called me, and about 3 days later, and we got it for you. That was that was great. You know, I remember most of the staff were from the store were helpful. You know, their knowledge of movies and TV, but they know where everything was and all that. They had catalogs too of the store, and I don't know if they had membership or like if you get rewards for that. Probably they did. I'm not sure. I don't remember because I never signed up. Some stores ask you to. They do that to this day, like that. But if I want to purchase a DVD, usually you would order online from Deep Discount DVD. That's a good place. And also, Barnes and Noble still sells them. And what other places? Can't think of. But you can go to Target or Walmart, and you know they have their own sections like that. It's not the but that's a chain of stores like that. You know, but physical media is disappearing. You know, a lot of people are streaming, but I like to have the DVDs. You know, because sometimes the streaming, like for example, for TV DVDs, most of it's not edited, but on streaming they do. According to some people I've heard on the internet. So just hang on to those as long as you can. So that's good. So I love the store. I miss it. I really do. That was a big hangout wall. I mean, that was a big hangout at the mall. You know, a lot of kids, like from the 90s, you know, like from the 80s, like not the 80s, from the 90s, mostly the 90s and the 2000s. That was a big hangout there. Oh, okay. And right now I'm going to play a commercial for Suncoast Motion Picture Company. And it's from 1994. So sit back and enjoy, and I'll be right back. Thank you, everyone.
Everyone on my list loves movies. That's why I go to Suncoast. They have the classics, sci-fi, action thrillers, holiday movies. At Suncoast, I got something for everyone. And one thing for myself.
There are over 10,000 great movie gifts at Suncoast, like Cliffhanger starring Sylvester Stallone, the action-adventure Speed starring Keanu Reeves, and the action-packed epic Gettysburg. These and hundreds of other titles are on sale now at Suncoast.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Suncoast video store from 1994. That's kind of cool. One last thing I want to mention about that. When Dark Shadows, the soap opera that starred Jonathan Frid as Barnabas Collins, they started releasing them on video on VHS, and it was in 1990. And then I had an ad. I posted that a long time ago on my page, Van Chicagoland, and he did a promotional tour of that, not just all over the country, maybe just on the West Coast, to promote that Dark Shadows was being released on video for the first time. And fans like me got excited. It was exciting. When I started, because I love the show, I haven't watched it in a long time. I used to watch it on the Sci-Fi Channel every day. I recorded it on my VCR in the morning. They had showed 2 episodes, and then I got hooked on it. Then it became available on DVD. Then I bought the box set. I bought like that, and but I had the special. They had the special episodes like bloopers and anniversary ones. So those are collector's items. But you know what was nice about those? The artwork of each VHS tape of the show. So that's like the artwork. That's kind of cool. So he did, and Suncoast advertised it for a while. So that was a big boost for their company, like that. So that's nice. Okay. Next up, I will talk about John Coughlin, the WBBM TV weatherman, on Channel 2 in Chicago. What a nice man he was. And I remember watching him for a long time when I was a kid, and watched him over the years. So I will give you his biography. So and during the 70s, he was the number one weatherman at the time. I'm trying to think who else was probably Jim Tillman on Channel 5, and Channel 7 was probably John Coleman. Some people get confused with John Coleman with John Coughlin, because some say he was responsible for the Weather Channel. No, it wasn't John Coughlin. It was the other guy. And so here's his biography. Okay, and he was born and raised in Chicago, and he served in World War II, and he earned a bachelor's degree in liberal arts from Northwestern University in 1952. Excuse me. And then he started working at a radio station in Alton, Illinois, and he worked at radio stations. And then he joined WBBM TV in Chicago in 1953, and he worked on children's programs. Now, this is something I never knew until I started doing Van Chicagoland. I had no idea he was involved with that, and he started in a show called Breakfast House. He did that, and he became one of his characters was called Buffalo Nichols. So that was kind of funny, and he also had there was a puppet named Twistoffer. He did that, and that was very talented. And a lot of kids remember him. He was the voice of Mr. Pegasus, and that was a talking table on the Susan Show. Do you remember that? That was from the late 50s, if you remember that. And also, there was a show called Popeye's Firehouse. I think that was hosted by Ray Rainier. I'm not sure. And he did Lightning the Horse and Willie the Mouse. And he also appeared on the Friendship Show, and that hosted by Lee Phillip. And so that was kind of cool, like that. And I don't know what he did after that, And let's see what else he did. And but I think he did like voiceovers. during that time. After that, he was a staff announcer. Then in 1969, there was um, a weatherman. His name was Roy Allred. I don't remember him. And so somebody in the station asked him to fill in when he was sick, and he said, "Okay, I'll try it." And John Coughlin had no idea. He had no idea about the weather, so he just played it by ear. He just. I would have loved to see that his debut as the weatherman, and then what he said in an article one time. I had to fake it. I had to just go along, and he fooled everybody. He was fine, and then the man that he filled in, Roy Allred, quit. And then they were trying to find a replacement, like a permanent replacement. And then John Coughlin said, "I'll take over until you find somebody." But you know what? They never find anyone. That lasted about 8 or 9 months. And then he got the job, and then he stuck. He stayed. And then, but he had to learn about the weather. He had to go to school to learn about the weather. So he learned it on the job. And then he hired a tutor from the University of Chicago for 5 years. Who knew, like that? So that's interesting. It really was. And then, so he was a very personable guy, and very nice. And the audience loved him. They really did. And so that's kind of nice. Like I just said. Right now, I found a clip of John Coughlin doing the weather, and this is from 1984, and this is at WBBM TV, Channel 2 in Chicago. So it's about 3 minutes long, so I will play it. I will play that, and as you listen, it'll take you back to a wonderful time, when he did the weather. Like he would do the weather from, I think he did it at 6 and 10. 6 o'clock in the evening and 10 o'clock in the evening. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did that. So that was when you listen to him, it sounds very nostalgic. So it's really nice. So sit back and enjoy John Coughlin doing the weather report on Channel 2 in Chicago. And I'll be right back, everyone. Thank you.
Now, some of that stuff may have a nice coating of nice wet snow in the next few hours. John Coughlin says some lake effect stuff may be on the way, right?
It is possible late tonight and maybe during the day tomorrow. We don't look for much, but it is something to be looking out for. Here's a current look at the forecast. Cloudy tonight. It's going to get down to about 22 in the outlying areas and a low of about 32 near the lake tomorrow. Cloudy again with the possibility of some of those lake effect snow showers, especially close to the lake, and the high temperature only about 33 degrees. Here's a look at the current weather map. Yes, now we're looking at the current weather map. You can see a weather system down here in the south. This is moving in a northeasterly direction. As it does so, it'll be bringing some clouds and a few showers and some snow showers to the Ohio Valley. Some of those places had some significant snow today. Cincinnati wound up with an inch of snow. Dayton, Ohio had a couple inches of snow. But this is all moving away from us. High pressure building from the northern plains, moving down, will start to give us some clearing skies late in the day tomorrow and tomorrow night. Then on Tuesday, we should have lots of sunshine around here, and looks like we'll have a sunny week. Cold but sunny. Current temperatures around the country shows that we are 34. That was an hour ago here in Chicago, 77 in Miami, 80 in Brownsville, Texas, and in the 40s and 50s throughout much of the center of the country. So we're not going to warm up terribly during the next week, but it's going to warm up a little bit by the end of the week. Temperatures tomorrow will be in the 30s here in the Chicago area, and if you're looking for someplace really warm, you've got to go to the southeast. In 70s and 80s down there in Florida, and in the 60s in southern Texas and out in California. But it's going to be kind of a cool week, the way things are shaping up right now. Satellite view of the country shows this big band of clouds all the way from the central plains onto the east coast, and some of those places did pick up some snow. And Florida was on the clear side, but you can see where that high pressure is beginning to build up here in the central plains. Skies are clear, and we look for lots of clear weather around here for the rest of the week. National radar is picking up more of those showers and some heavy showers down here along the central Gulf Coast, and some snow showers all the way from Kansas through the Ohio River Valley, and some very light stuff out here in the far west. Those are mostly just rain showers. We don't expect any big storm to be building for the next 2 or 3 days at least. That's what we are counting on anyway. Temperatures around here late this evening, 35 in Niles, 35 also in St. Charles, 36 in Harvey, and 37 in Gary, Indiana. The water temperature a little too cold for swimming, 43 degrees right now out in good old Lake Michigan. The official high temperature was 37 today after a low of 31, which is the current reading, by the way. Records for this date, 72 in 1953 and 8 above back in 1880. Sunrise 6:44, and the sun will set tomorrow at 4:27. Current temperatures in Chicago, 31 at O'Hare, 36 at the lakefront, and 35 at Midway. North winds at 15 miles an hour, and the barometer rising, but very, very slowly. Here's the forecast for tonight. Cloudy and colder, possibility of some snow showers near the lake late tonight. Low will be 22 to 32. And tomorrow, cloudy and cold, a possibility of some snow showers, high 33 degrees. And looking ahead to Tuesday, mostly sunny but cold. Temperatures still in the 30s. And Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, lots of sunshine, but warming up when we get toward the end of the week. We'll get to the upper 40s. Mike and Susan?
Thank you, John.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the weather report from John Coughlin. I apologize for it's a little long, but it's about 3 minutes, but it goes fast. But once you listen to him, you just forget, And another thing about John Coughlin, and then he was, he was in July of 1976. He was demoted from Channel 2, by the big, by the big shots, and then he was still employed and staff announcer, and then he was replaced by someone named Tom Alderman. I sort of remember that. I gotta find out about him. And then when that happened, there were protests. People wrote letters in, and they said, "Where is John? We want him back." And he received about 10,000 letters. That's a lot. And I guess they pressured him to bring him back, and it worked. They brought John Coughlin back in February 1977, and then John Coughlin apologized, and then he said he was on the air and he apologized to the public. Well, it was really not his fault. They just, that was management. That was their decision. Sometimes they don't make the right decision. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they're bad. Sometimes they're ridiculous. That's how businesses are. I've been in this situation many times when I work at companies, and then he stayed on until 1989. And let's see. So yeah, he retired August 20. His last day on the air was August 27th, 1989, and I remember that. That was sad, But it was time to. I guess it was time to move on, And he just. He said, "I had no idea my career would would be like this. I had a wonderful career." He was very blessed and very gratified, of his job, and people loved him, the people that worked with him. And over the years, incidentally, that clip that you heard, the people that were talking with John, that was Mike Parker. He was on Channel 2. He passed away a few years ago. And also at the end was Susan Anderson when she did the news. Remember her? She's still alive as far as I know, but I don't think she's in TV news anymore. So John Coughlin retired in August 27, 1989. And I don't know what he did. He probably found time to do things like that. And then he passed away on February 17, 2001, and he was 75 years old. So, and according to articles in the Chicago Tribune, Harry Volkman, another famous weatherman, they were good friends. They were not competitors, but they were great good friends, and that's nice. That is nice. And you know, he wasn't very not a funny weatherman. Yeah, he had a sense of humor, but most of the time he was serious, but not too serious. So that's good. Like, but he didn't go visit schools or anything like that. Well, maybe he did, but Harry Volkman, excuse me, did that. He visited schools and all that. So that's it's a nice Chicago memory. It really is. And also, let's see. When he appeared on the Popeye show, his character's name was Bo's son Bob, and he was like a Navy man. you know, well, he was very talented when he did voiceovers, and did the with the cartoons and the puppets. That okay. So that'll be all for today. I discussed the Chicago Weatherman, John Coughlin from WBBM TV Channel 2 in Chicago, and also Suncoast Motion Picture Company video stores. Covered a lot of ground on that. Okay. I will do another podcast maybe tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. When this podcast is published, a lot of people ask me, "Where do I find your podcast?" Where's send me a link. And then I always tell them you can find them wherever podcasts are available: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Breaker, Overcast. Also, I have my YouTube channel on Vanished Chicagoland Stories. It'll be published later this afternoon. A lot of people prefer it that way. To listen, it's easier right? Because a lot of people are not tech savvy. They don't want to use the phones. They want to use their computers, like laptop or a desktop. I can understand that, And you can listen on YouTube anytime you like. You can listen to the rest of the episodes if you'd like, and this will be ready. And so I had fun talking about this episode. It's kind of nice. Okay, so this is Pete Castanish, your host for Vanished Chicagoland Stories. Thank you for joining me. Everyone have a wonderful day. It's not a bad weekend. Kind of cool, but it's not, at least not snowing. Thank goodness for January, that is. And bye-bye for me. And here's Ray Rayner with a little traveling music saying bye, bye, bye. Take care, everyone. So long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.